Legal remedies.
Legal remedies involve the retribution of monetary damages to remedy loss or injury in a court of law, making up for injury or damages to property. Examples would be compensatory damages, punitive damages, nominal damages, which would award, and the court would give the plaintiff monetary amounts to make up for what they suffered or what they've lost.
Equitable remedies.
Equitable remedies would be non-monetary remedies designed to achieve fairness in a court of law, or if money isn't enough to make things right, then the purpose would be to repel or prevent certain actions in the interest of making things right and justice. Examples would be the court order to do or to stop doing something, specific performance requiring a party to fulfill a contract, as far as like completing a service, well, not really a service, but completing what they had promised in the beginning for the contract to become whole. Canceling a contract if they find that was only doing more damage than good, and returning parties to their pre-contract position, so they didn't neither lost or gained anything in a recession. Reformation, modifying a contract to reflect the true intent of the parties, creating a contract that would actually be mutually beneficial, and then have both parties have equal or just go back to what they were doing prior.
You may ask, what is the difference?
Quite simply, in summary, legal remedies will reimburse for losses, and then equitable remedies urge or prevent actions when the monetary gain or money isn't enough to fix the issue at hand.
History.
The origin of equitable remedies would be in English common law system. Everything in this country kind of came over during the English time, as far as we got our framework, particularly in the Court of Chancery, which came up as a response to the rigid and often inadequate remedies by common law courts. So, picture this: in medieval times, legal disputes were handled in common law courts, which primarily awarded with monetary gain, property. Common law wasn't inflexible. If the legal remedy couldn't kind of resolve the issue, then they had no relief. They would not be able to move forward as far as obtaining justice. The Court of Chancery emerged, and this would provide separate kind of system of justice as far as fairness, and you had another party hear the entire story and decide what was fair for the case if money wasn't enough. Key definitions would be injunctions, court orders that compel a party to do something, mandatory, or refrain from doing something, prohibitory injunction. These are used to prevent irreparable harm or enforce agreements. Specific performance, this would obtain an order requiring a party to fulfill the terms of the contract that were originally agreed upon, typically used when monetary damages would not adequately compensate. Reformation, correcting a written document like a contract to reflect the party's true intentions. If somebody agrees to do something, but they're really meaning for an ulterior motive, then this would rewrite the contract to show that ulterior motive, so you can either agree to it or not agree to it. Reformation, correcting, like I said, a written document. Recession, canceling a contract and restoring the parties to their pre-contractual positions. Accounting, ordering a party to provide a detailed account of financial transactions, which would also give either an ulterior motive, or if they're not giving the entire story, or their money behind, like if they don't have enough money to actually fulfill the contract in the first place, then they would the other party would be able to given a chance to get out of the contract because they're not going to be paid for it. A constructive trust, imposing a trust on property that was wrongfully acquired to prevent unjust enrichment. Again, this would be key equitable remedies.
Now we'll discuss 2 court cases involving these topics.
Okay, so the first court case is Spur Industries Incorporated versus Del E Web Development Co. So Spur Industries operated livestock feed lot that was right next to, let's say, Sun City, which is a residential area, and they were developed by Del E Web. So there was waste with a very strong smell and flies from that feedlot, which is, I would say, pretty common for a feedlot, and it became a public nuisance. It was very detrimental to the area. It made for the residential area, it would smell, and it was just not an area that they wanted the residents to experience a more, like home and not have to worry about the smell or any type of fly or debris or pollution that would come over from that livestock area. The equitable remedy in this case, Arizona Supreme Court granted a mandatory injunction ordering Spur to stop all operations. At the same time, the court recognized that there could be monetary value in consideration by requiring the web development company to give monetary losses incurred that would make up for the time that they had to endure this nuisance. The next case that I'm discussing is Sabin versus Raj. This would be in 1953. The case had 2 parties that agreed into a contract to sell real estate, and the defense or the defendant decided to refuse and not go through with the contract. And in this case, no monetary value would be able to make up for that property, for them being able to close on that property. And this no amount of money due to the properties, either the value of the property or just wanting to spend time on the property, no money of value would be able to remedy the situation. The Arizona Supreme Court enforced a specific performance holding that the damages alone were not enough in the real estate contract, and equitable relief was warranted where they wanted to bring fairness, and the unique subject matter were factors in this situation that established the principle under Arizona law that real property contracts would justify equitable relief, and there's no monetary compensation for a property that has a unique factor or unique area for use or personal use, or maybe it's the terrain. There would be no money that would be able to make up for it.